Immortality has always fascinated us, but what if we could actually live forever? Thanks to science, it's becoming a possibility. Cryogenics, gene editing, and anti-aging breakthroughs are bringing forever closer to reality. But before we get too excited, let's think about the downsides. Being stuck in the same job for 500 years, overcrowded cities, and maybe getting bored of life after a few centuries. Maybe immortality isn't all it's cracked up to be. Sometimes, a few extra vacation days are all we need. A world where time stands still. Imagine a world where aging is no longer an unavoidable fate. A society where the relentless passage of time no longer dictates the course of our lives. This is the vision of immortality, a world where every individual remains in their prime, free from the ravages of time. Such a reality could lead to extraordinary transformations in every aspect of life. If death were no longer a natural part of the cycle, how would society change? We would be confronted with the problem of overcrowding. In a world where people live forever, the population would continue to grow exponentially. The Earth's resources, land, food, water, are already under strain, and this pressure would only intensify. The global scarcity of resources could become a significant concern, triggering potential conflicts over how to distribute them. The planet's ecosystems, too, might be stretched beyond their limits, leading to environmental degradation. The strain on resources would demand that we rethink our societal structures. With no natural death, the traditional systems that govern human life, such as career progression, retirement, and even marriage, would require redefinition. If people no longer age, the concept of retirement would lose its meaning. Without the natural progression of time, would people be able to differentiate between work and leisure? Moreover, how would relationships evolve in such a society? The promise of "till death do us part" could become meaningless in a world where death no longer occurs and relationships could endure indefinitely. The psychological toll of eternal life. While the external consequences of immortality are undoubtedly significant, the psychological impact on individuals might be just as profound, if not more so. The idea of living forever raises serious concerns about human mental health. Imagine the weight of centuries upon centuries of existence, without the urgency of time, without the inevitable approach of death to motivate us. How would our psychological state change? One of the core drivers of human behavior is the ticking clock. The knowledge that our time is limited often compels us to act with purpose, to chase our goals, and to make the most of the time we have. But what happens when time is no longer a limiting factor? Would we still be driven to achieve? Would the pursuit of goals lose its meaning? Would we grow bored, stuck in an endless loop of existence, with no ultimate destination or sense of urgency? The absence of a defined lifespan could also result in a loss of motivation. Our sense of purpose is often shaped by the awareness that we have only a finite amount of time to accomplish our dreams and ambitions. Without this limitation, the drive to push boundaries, innovate, and grow may fade. The monotony of eternal life could lead to a sense of existential stagnation, with individuals feeling trapped in an unending cycle of repetition. The absence of death could also alter our emotional landscape. As humans, we cherish the relationships that we form throughout our lives, whether they are with family, friends, or romantic partners. The shared experience of life's fleeting nature creates bonds that are powerful and meaningful. In a world where everyone lives forever, the dynamics of these relationships could change. How would we relate to one another when we no longer face the shared reality of loss? Could love, friendship, and kinship maintain their significance in a society where time has no end? The societal shifts in an immortal world. An immortal society would not only affect individuals, but would radically alter the fabric of human culture and governance. Societies today are built upon the idea that life is temporary, that people grow old, and that new generations take the place of the old. In a world where no one dies, the concept of generational progression could cease to exist. The younger generation might struggle to carve out their own identities in a world dominated by those who have already lived for centuries. Furthermore, the lack of death could result in profound shifts in political and social structures. With no natural turnover of leaders, could governments remain effective? Would societies be able to adapt to the challenges of a growing population and dwindling resources? These questions underscore the potential instability that could arise from immortality. Economic systems might also undergo significant change. If people never retire, how would the job market evolve? The idea of career progression could be fundamentally altered, with individuals holding positions for centuries, potentially stifling innovation and new ideas. Would the job market become overcrowded? Would those seeking new opportunities struggle to find a place in a world where the workforce is continually expanding? Additionally, what about the concept of wealth? In a society where no one ages and time is no longer an enemy, would the accumulation of wealth still hold the same significance? Would the pursuit of material success continue to drive individuals, or would a shift toward more meaningful, transcendent pursuits take place? Love, friendship, and family in a timeless world. One of the most profound questions raised by immortality concerns the relationships that define our lives. As human beings, we form deep emotional bonds with others, whether through love, friendship, or familial ties. These relationships are often shaped by the knowledge that our time together is limited. The fleeting nature of life makes these connections all the more precious. But in a world where death is no longer an eventuality, how would relationships evolve? Would love lose its intensity without the shared experience of mortality? Would the absence of death create emotional complacency? The deep, intimate connections we form are often influenced by the shared understanding that we must cherish the moments we have together. Without this temporal pressure, the foundation of love and connection could change. Similarly, the concept of family could be altered. Family structures may no longer follow the natural progression of birth, growth, and death. The generational cycles that bind families together could become blurred, and individuals may struggle to define their roles in a world where their parents, children, and siblings all exist eternally. Furthermore, the sense of personal growth and self-discovery could be impacted by the absence of time. As we age, we accumulate experiences that shape who we are. In a timeless world, without the passage of time to reflect upon, how would individuals develop and evolve? Would we lose the drive for self-improvement, or would we find new ways to measure personal growth? Is immortality a blessing or a curse? The idea of immortality raises the ultimate question. Is living forever a dream or a nightmare? The potential benefits are clear. Eternal life could offer boundless opportunities for personal achievement, exploration, and growth. It could allow humanity to achieve feats that are currently unimaginable, advancing science, culture, and civilization in ways that we cannot yet predict. However, the drawbacks are equally significant. Immortality could lead to societal collapse due to overcrowding and resource depletion. It could cause psychological stagnation, as individuals lose their sense of urgency and purpose. Relationships could become strained as the shared experience of mortality is removed. And without the natural cycle of life and death, the meaning of existence itself might be questioned. Perhaps the true beauty of life lies not in its length, but in its impermanence. It is the knowledge that our time is limited that gives life meaning. It is the awareness of death that makes each moment precious. While immortality might sound appealing on the surface, it may ultimately be the transience of life that gives it its deepest significance. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video of immortality, don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to stay updated with more thought-provoking content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.